Hello guys, it's Abhishek and you're watching TechSet. You can also watch my other videos from my playlist to gain more knowledge, because in my channel you will get all you need in tech. So we have learned how to install RHEL 7.6 by command line and graphically. In this video we are about to discuss basic configuration of Linux, because it's not possible to learn Linux without knowing about its basic configuration. So without any further ado, let's start. In my previous videos, I have told you that in Linux we use two types of desktop environments. First is Genome and second is KDE. Genome stands for GNU Network Object Model Environment and KDE stands for KDesktop. These two desktop environment we use in Linux, and if you want to install Linux RHEL 7 in your computer by command prompt, whether using graphical mode, you will get by default Genome environment in Linux. Let's understand the difference between Genome and KDE. In Genome, you will get taskbar on top. If you compare Windows, then you will get taskbar at the bottom. Let me show you in Windows. So now it is my Windows, and you can see we have the taskbar in Windows at the bottom. In Windows, we have only single desktop environment, and that is KDE. If you click on the right corner top, then you will see some options like wired connection, your battery information, and user through which we are currently logged in. From here, you can configure your network. Right now it is not connected. If you want to connect, then hit on connect. Second option is related to your battery percentage. From here, you can manage your power settings. And third option is related to user. If you click here, then you will get another option like logout, account settings, and then you have power button. If you press power button, then you will get three options, and that is cancel, restart, and power off. I'm not gonna restart Linux because it will take 1 minute. Then you have the lock button. You can lock your Linux by pressing this. Next option is settings. Once you press settings, you will get couple of options like you can manage Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, your background wallpapers, like I'm gonna change my wallpaper right now, and then you can change your language settings from here. You can manage your online accounts or add them like Google, Nextcloud, Microsoft, etc. Then you have date and time wizard through which you can change date and time. If you click on root user again, then you get account setting option. From here, you can create or modify any user. Let me show you how. Once you press settings button, you will have user screen, and this is the same user that we have created during the installation time. Suppose we want to add a new user in Linux. On the right corner top, click on add user, and you will get options like we get in Windows. Would you like to create a standard user or administrator? That is your choice. Then on the left corner, you have application tab. This is a start menu of Linux. From here, you can select or open any application. Likewise, in Windows, Internet Explorer is a default browser. Same way, Mozilla Firefox is a default browser of Linux. Next to application tab, there is another tab by the name places. It is much similar to Windows File Explorer. Once you click here, then you can access home, documents, downloads, music, videos, and my computers also. Likewise, in Windows, we use File Explorer to access documents and other information of current logged in user. Same way, in Linux, we use home to access documents and other information of current logged in user. Then comes trash. And I think I don't need to tell you what is trash. In Windows, whatever we delete, it goes in recycle bin. Same way, in Linux, whatever we delete, it goes in trash. Now, here comes very important part of Linux. As I told you, in Windows, we can log in one user at a time. If you want to log in with different user in Windows, then we have to switch user or log off the user. But in Linux, we can log in 6 users at a time. Let me show you how. Down below, you have some commands. By this, you can easily log in 6 users at a time. So first user always will be logged in graphically. If you want to log in second user, then we need to use Ctrl Alt F2. For third user, Ctrl Alt F3. Fourth user, Control Alt F4. Fifth user, Control Alt F5. And sixth user, Control Alt F6. If you want to go back in graphical mode, then press Alt F1 or press Control Alt F1, that is function 1. As I told you already that first user always will be logged in graphically. And to log in other users, we use terminals. And I have shown you the commands how to use the terminals by pressing these commands. Before moving ahead, let's discuss what is terminal. Isn't it sound like Terminator? But don't be afraid. Let me tell you what is terminal. Terminal is known as command prompt in Windows. And in Linux, it is known as terminal. And to access these terminals, we use these three combinations. And that is Control Alt F2 to Control Alt F7. Now we are back to our Linux and you can see we are logged in with root user. And here we are about to log in second user by terminal. And to open terminal, press Control Alt F2. You have the screen. Localhost is a by default computer name in Linux. Now type the username. Suppose I want to log in with root user. Then type root, press enter. Type the root password, again press enter. Now you can see we are logged in by root user on which we have date and time. Now press Ctrl Alt F3 to log in with another user. Type the username. This time I'm gonna use test user. Now type the password, press enter, and boom, we are logged in with test user. And it is not so that you have to use terminals sequentially. You can open any terminal, like if you are using right now F3 terminal, then you can jump to F6. Let's press Ctrl Alt F5 and type username. I'm typing test again. I have entered the password and we are logged in with test user. So we have the terminals in front of us and we can jump to any terminal. But what if we want to go back to our graphical mode? Then how we will go back? In this scenario, you just need to press Alt F1 or you can press Ctrl Alt F1 to go back into the graphical mode. We are back in the graphical mode. From here, we can operate our Linux graphically, but in terminal, we can only operate our Linux by commands. Let's discuss about syntax in terminal, which is very important. Now you will think, what is syntax and how to open it? Let me show you how. So I have opened a terminal, and in the terminal, when you log in with any user, then whatever you get, that is called syntax. As you can see here on the screen, let me show you the meaning of syntax. Whenever you log in with root user, then you get different syntax, and if you log in with normal user, then you get different syntax. Let's understand the meaning of syntax. So in root terminal, we have root at localhost ~key, then hash symbol. Root is the username, localhost is our PC name, and hash symbol shows that we are logged in by super user. As I told you in my previous videos that in Linux, root user is the administrator user, that is also known as super user. ~key shows current working directory of any user. Same way, if I jump to test user terminal, then you will see different syntax. Here, test is our username, localhost is our PC name, $sign shows that you are logged in by normal user, ~key shows current working directory of any user. I hope it will help you to understand syntax. In last two videos, we were discussing how to open terminal and how to log in with 6 users at the same time by using terminals. And we have also discussed what is a syntax, how to open them, and what is the meaning of syntax. If you didn't watch that video, then you can press that I button from the right top corner to watch that video. In this video, we are going to learn how many types of terminals we have, what is pseudo terminal, and how to open it. So we have two types of terminals in Linux. First terminal is normal terminal and second is pseudo terminal. Pay attention guys. To open terminal, we use Ctrl Alt F2 to Ctrl Alt F6. Which we have already used to log in multiple users at the same time in our previous videos. In terminal, there will not be any user logged in by default. To open pseudo terminal, we have 3 ways. Let's discuss them one by one. First way is right click on the desktop and click on open in terminal. Once you do that, it will open pseudo terminal. And very important part is in pseudo terminal, by default that user will be logged in by which you are currently logged in. Right now it is showing us root user because we are logged in with root user. If we would be logged in by test user, then it would have shown us test user here. Is it clear? Second way is to open pseudo terminal is click on Applications from the left top corner and open Terminal. Third way is to open Terminal, open Run in Linux. And don't try to open Run in Linux by pressing Windows R. It is Linux, guys. So to open Run, press Alt F2 from your keyboard. You have the run prompt. Now type Genome-terminal and press enter. So these are the three ways to open sudo terminal in Linux. Now let's focus on the difference between terminal and sudo terminal. So the first difference is, in terminal, no user will be logged in by default, but in sudo terminal, that user will be logged in through which you are logged in graphically. Difference 2, you cannot increase or decrease font size in terminals, but in sudo terminal, you can increase or decrease font size by using Ctrl+Shift+ key and Ctrl+Shift- key. Third difference is, we can log in 6 users at the time in terminals, but in sudo terminal, we can log in only 1 user at the same time. So that was the complete basic configuration of Linux. I hope you will like it. Question time, guys. Now tell me how to open Run in Linux, and your options are: option A, by pressing Windows R; option B, by pressing Alt F4; option C, by pressing Alt F2. You can type your answers in next 10 seconds below the comment section. So that's all from my side. If you like my videos, then hit like, make comments, share my videos on WhatsApp and Facebook so that we can spread the knowledge. And don't forget to subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon for latest updates. Thank you.